Iyanla is back. Hi guys, the Red-Related Girlfriend Run Away, where we have culture, conversation, and community. In today's video, I am here reviewing Iyanla Fix My Life, Queen of De-Nial, okay, as I am waiting for my coffee to kick in because this is tired. So, episode kicks off pretty much with LisaRaye just discussing, like, she felt like, she was finished, but the work wasn't complete. And, you feel finished when, you're just mentally exhausted. And we all know that, Mama Katie and her daughter Kai, I guess she named her daughter after Katie and Kai. That makes sense now. Yeah, so they're in the van and they're just talking, and she just said Kai didn't want to come because sis wasn't getting no coin, and Mama said she was, packing her bags ever since she came back to the house since the last episode. LisaRaye pretty much just said she became aware that she wasn't seeing a lot of things. So they're in the car, they're talking, LisaRaye I'm really not feeling because she made those colorist remarks, but that's not what she's discussing. I'm sure her values and everything stems from her upbringing, which we all know was a little janky. So I'm going to extend some grace to you, LisaRaye. That's all I'm going to say on that. I was trying not to even do it, but we got to. Anyways, so Iyanla just says that you have to be courageous. Courage is pretty much doing things that need to be done before you're forced to do it. And I just love that. I couldn't agree more. Iyanla pretty much just said, I just tried to, crown you too early. And, that's why she was met with so much resistance. But I think Iyanla's purpose was when you call somebody by a name, then maybe they'll, like, meet the standard of what you're calling them. Much like, fake it till you make it, or manifestation. You call yourself a queen. I'm a queen until you actually embody that. But I don't think LisaRaye was in that mind space to even do that. Iyanla asked her to do an evaluation of herself, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 meaning you don't do it at all, and 5 means you embodies it. So Iyanla's going through the questions. LisaRaye rates herself everything at a 4. And she's like, so you're patient, so you're honest, so you're this, and LisaRaye's like, and Iyanla does her infamous laugh like, okay, sis, we gonna see. So Iyanla says, let's pause this for a minute. I think we need to do a little bit of heart work here. And this is when, they see her like in a different room, and she just asked her, when was the first time your heart was broken, and who broke your heart? She said, I think my father was the one who broke my heart. And rightfully so. She was in love with her father. She said her father was, one thing that came out of this episode was that she's always known her father to be in a wheelchair. He was in the wheelchair since she was 8 months old. And she said she remembered her dad just, being in the chair. And she thought, oh, he can get out of that chair. Stop playing, daddy. Get up out the chair. And she said she pushed him like, I'm going to teach you how to walk. And he ended up falling. So with that being the case, she knew that one, she had to take care of her dad. She was essentially his caretaker. He was going to need some assistance. The thing about it, daddy was in the wheelchair, but his thing must have still been thanging, because he had too many girlfriends. One of the hurts that she said she felt betrayed by her father because the stepsister, essentially what she was, she said my dad's girlfriend's daughter, he put her in the same charter school as magnet school as me, and I just felt like, why is she in my territory? Why is she in my space? And I get that, like, daddy, you making her eye level, that's that elite. It's like, nah, I'm supposed to be here, she is not. It almost was giving me like a regression therapy, but like in a different way. Give this video a thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, LisaRaye was on the floor, and she was just really trying to get her to open up and breathe. Some of the things started, really coming up for her. So one of the earliest memories she remembered of being scared was that, the house was smoking. Her mom was cooking a pot of beans or whatever. And then she came in the house. She said, so when you were frightened, you were alone. Stuff like that sticks with your kids, man. It's crazy. Like, it's so funny, the things that you remember as a young child. I can't even remember what I ate yesterday, but I have some memories that stuck in my mind, and I'm sure you all do too, that it's just like, wow, it's crazy how the mind and trauma works. She said that she shared that she started feeling lonely when she felt like she had to share her father with another family. She said she felt angry. She said she felt helpless, and Iyanla said, how about you felt like, you didn't want to lose your dad? And, she started choking up and tearing up because she loved her dad. Imagine having to share your father with kids that ain't even your brothers and sisters for real. Then they mentioned her husband, or her ex-husband, I should say, and she pretty much just said, you know what? My ex-husband reminds me of my father because he was a cheater. He had women, entertaining women he wasn't supposed to, and things of that nature. Then we get into the juicy topic of her sister. She said, why were you upset? She said, LisaRaye just said her upsetness was that she was hurt, which we all knew, but she said, she pretty much didn't tell me about her relationship. I mean, I didn't know anything. And when she showed up on my show, I just felt like, girl, what is you doing here? You didn't even tell me about your relationship. And you coming out to the world, you can't even tell your sister. And Iyanla's like, but where did the breakdown happen? Which I'm still unclear of. Where did the breakdown happen? Did y'all catch that? Because maybe it was edited out or something. But I don't really feel like they really got into it. And Iyanla calls her out on that. Like, I don't understand what you're saying. And Iyanla's pretty much talking to her. She's like, you know what? I just blinked out. You know what I'm saying? And she kind of has this kind of spaced out about her. If y'all watch Queens of Cocktails, you see she does that on the clock too. Because I would just be looking at her like, LisaRaye, what are you talking about? We started talking about her daughter, and she just said, like, you know, her daughter felt like she wasn't there for her. And LisaRaye was like, well, I didn't hear her say that. And she said she did in so many words. Maybe you just didn't hear, but that's what she said. And LisaRaye is making all these faces. She twisting her face all up and just looking just like her mama. It's crazy. But you know, LisaRaye is pissed off about that, and she's like, oh well, ooh, that coffee kicked in, y'all, because y'all hear me talk fast, my coffee kicked in. Yeah, so she was just like, so I'm supposed to be everywhere and be everything to everybody, because y'all remember she sent her daughter away to disciplinary school. And then, like, what kind of response is that? You supposed to be everything to everybody, be everywhere. Child, you're talking about your daughter. Granted, she's 21 or 22, that's still your child. I don't like it. And Iyanla calls her out. She said, lights are on, but nobody's home. And I really get that vibe from her. She gives her some homework, which is pretty much some reflections on the steps, all of in the valleys. And Iyanla does a good job of making things theatrical, and, you know, I call them psychology props. But here's the thing, sometimes we need a tangible item in our hand to see, to visualize, to put it in as something tangible for us to be able to deal with. They reconvene, and Iyanla pretty much just tells her, you represent us, you represent me, you represent Michelle Obama when you talk. And I just think that is something that black women carry, that we have to understand, especially her on a major, huge platform, okay, with power and influence. You know, they're looking at us like, oh, that's how they act, that's who they are. So yeah, she does carry, all black women to a certain degree carry a little bit of extra weight on us, because we all know who's watching, we all know who's looking to see who we are, you know. Iyanla says something that is that was a truly critical point. She just said that a girl child is initiated into womanhood by how she see her mother treats herself. And you know, if LisaRaye says something, well, what's the opposite of value? Because, you know, obviously her mother didn't really value herself, and she says your mother is who you're going to become, and your daughter is who you were. So I know that was kind of hitting home for her. So then they have a chance to look at some old footage, and essentially LisaRaye said she wanted her house back. When she got in front of her daughter, she just said, you know, I love you, right? And, you know, I want you out of my house by the first, or whatever, by you know, in a year's time. But LisaRaye Bennett said, I really just said that because I wasn't paying attention. I was just really just checked out. She said a part of the reason why she checked out is because, you know, she's just tired. She want to do what she want to do now. She's not really even here for it. But I also think that it's a mechanism for defense. She doesn't have to be too involved in a situation. So when someone's so guarded, it's hard to penetrate. It's hard to knock you off your square if you're so guarded all the time. But here's the thing, you can't be guarded with the women in your life, your mom and your daughter. You get what I'm saying? You be guarded on the outside world. And even then, you want to live on a frequency and a level where you don't even have to be guarded around the people who you even are intertwined with, whether that's personal or business. I do believe you can attract those type of people to you. But girl, I'm getting on another subject. Okay. Iyanla pretty much just breaks it down to her, connects the dots for her parents. She said you were with a husband that, you know, cheated on you like your father. Your daughter Kai is spoiled like how you were, and you also were controlling like how your mother was controlling to you. Essentially, LisaRaye, she does seem like she gets it a little bit for whatever superficial, whatever little level she can get it on. But I don't want to be you know, minimizing anybody's experiences, but child, listen. She just pretty much, you know, walked her upstairs, and she just said, you know, this stone is represent your heart. Iyanla is cool. She's on top of it because she had purple flowers. So Iyanla is just so on point for that. I just hate that LisaRaye got into this controversy right before this air. It just makes it look terrible. And, you know, this is going to be Iyanla's last season. She just said she realized people will pay for this, and I don't have to do all the drama. Because, you know, at the end of it, LisaRaye walks up to the throne. She sits herself down, and, you know, she crowns her own self. She said, because I can't crown you, you have to crown yourself. And that is so real, man. Oh my gosh, ladies, you have to crown yourself and validate yourself. And when I'm saying that to y'all, I'm not saying it from like a guru's perspective. I'm saying it out loud to y'all, to me too, for real. All in all, you know, LisaRaye just said, you know, I couldn't get this from anywhere else, and I just thank you. And Iyanla, you know, we all need to celebrate her and thank her for her work. She is truly, truly an elder and a healer in this community. And you know, I just love to see her work. I love to see her get through to people, honestly and truly. Anyways, y'all, that's my review for good old LisaRaye and the lovely, lovely Miss Iyanla. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe and hit the thumbs up. It helps your girl with the traction on YouTube. As always, I'm sending you much love and much light, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.